All right, I got 18 minutes left before I'm supposed to start cooking, but I'm not going to rush these things because, the news is important. So, everybody, Rush Limbaugh died. Guys, I said Rush Limbaugh died. Guys, I said Rush Limbaugh. Why are you cheering? What? No, don't. Guys, you're wilding. You're wilding. Guys, come on. Guys, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, please stop. Stop. Guys, come on. You're wilding. Come on, stop. Stop. You're you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Yes, I timed that joke. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm corny. So obviously it's fuck Rush Limbaugh. Like, okay. So quickly, I just want to explain to you the ramifications of not his death, but what he has said. Because I'm sure by now you've shared something on Facebook, on Twitter, something about like how like terrible he is, and you've noticed it, and it's like, wow, what the fuck? So why even go over him, right? I feel like not a lot of people understand his impact, and I need you to understand his impact like very quickly because fuck, it's a quick part, but like because you need to be aware that people like him exist right now. And you know that. You know there's the Ben Shapiro's, there's the Tucker Carlsons, there's the Tucker Carlsons, and then there's the Tucker Carlsons, and then there's the Hannitys, and the Judge Janine Pierce. Fox News. Anyway, he pretty much is Fox News, like on steroids. But the point I want to make about his impact is before all of that was widely known, there was something we used to use called a radio. Most of my people here know what a fucking radio is, but you would be surprised. You would be. I'm not even playing around with this one. I teach. I'm a teacher. And I have had that conversation where like kids couldn't read analog clocks and didn't know what a radio was. Not in the sense of like they didn't know what it was, but like they couldn't like function one or picture one in their heads. But before all that, before they existed, before we exist, there was the baby boomer generation. And the most popular thing from the 19 like 20s to 30s to 40s before the advent of the television, even during. Yeah, radio still isn't dead. I shouldn't even say it like that, but obviously, like, there's nobody with a big radio set in the house, like, unless you come from that. God, I'm getting off track again. Anyway, Rush Limbaugh was a huge radio personality, and Rush Limbaugh was like the guy that people in those small red states would put on 24/7. Like, people have had sex to Rush Limbaugh's voice because he talked the truth. He was about the little man. He was the realist. He was the realist racist, the realist like bigoted. This man is horrid. So I was gonna go through these videos. He is the greatest. But we're only gonna do, folks. We're only gonna do two videos because I need you to just hear like what the fuck this guy is about.
Fighter and winner that you will ever meet.
That he got a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah, with an A on the end. It's not racist.
Thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country.
Receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Millions of people listened to that and thought, that's great. That's content. I love that guy. He's so funny on that radio. Have you ever heard of Rush Limbaugh? He's like millennials Joe Rogan.
How many of you guys, in your own experience with women, have learned that no means yes if you know how to spot it.
Al Sharpton goes out the front door. Yes, I.
All right, because he's effectively covering these clips, so I'll just give you my opinion on it.
There's actually a debate going on.
I need y'all to listen, okay?
On
Because this is going to be
ESPN
funny.
and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when and how, and who can't, when and how. A little history lesson for you. If any race of people should not have guilt about slavery, it's Caucasians. The white race has probably had fewer slaves and for a briefer period of time than any other in the history of the world. No.
I'm so glad I waited to watch this video. That's a raw take. That's hard. Like, you gotta, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Like, that's real shit. That's real shit. Like, to compare it to the past, to absolve it.
Other race has ever fought a war for the purpose of ending slavery.
Oh, so the Civil War was over the point of slavery. It wasn't states' rights. That's Rush Limbaugh. That's your man's. Oh, I thought it was over states' rights. The states' rights to own slaves, I guess. This is what I need that clipped. I need that clipped, and I just need that. I'm just going to post that every time I see any conversation on the Civil War. That's your man's. And MSNBC.
Which we did. Nearly 600,000 people killed in the Civil War. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
That's like, all right, Mike, I'm going to tell you. That's like me going up to you and beating the shit out of you every day for 8 days. And on the 9th day, I come up to you and I'm like, look, I'm not beating the shit out of you, right? You should feel grateful for me, like, deciding not to beat the shit out of you today. Look at all this restraint that I'm, look at all this charisma I'm showing by being the bigger person and not assaulting you.
Preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
They have discovered that Obama does have slave blood. Slave blood.
I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill.
The Republicans are just totally bamboozled right now. They think they've got to rebrand, and it's all predicted. They got to reach out to minorities. The Republican Party lost because it's not conservative. Why does putting Condoleezza Rice front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting Marco Rubio front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting Suzanne Martinez, the governor of New Mexico, front and center convention not work? So, nigga with an A on the end. Well, I think I can now.
That's raw. That's fucking raw. Oh, that's so fucking raw. This is another example of why white people shouldn't say it. You don't even say it right. I'm not even revoking your passage to you can't even pronounce it, so why do you even try? Yo, he said that raw. Oh, that's nasty.
Now, isn't that the point? Because it's not racist. That's the point. I could be talking about a male. I could be a Chinese male, a guy at the laundromat. I could be talking about a man. That's what she said it means. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist.
How many Native Americans, how many Indians were killed by the arrival of the white man through disease and war? And how many people have died since the white man arrived here due to lung cancer, thanks to the Indian invented custom of smoking tobacco?
Yo, that's not. Karma got you on that one. And I just posted that meme on my Facebook. Oh shit, I just posted that on my Facebook. Oh, and I took that personally. And I took that fucking personally.
Serial killers here. Where are our reparations? Where are our reparations?
I didn't even peep the smoking a cigar.
Right out of Adolf Hitler's playbook. Now, what are the similarities between the Democrat Party of today and the Nazi Party in Germany? Well, the Nazis were against big business. They hated big business. And, of course, we all know that they were opposed to Jewish capitalism. They were insanely, irrationally against pollution. They were for 2 years mandatory voluntary service to Germany. They had a whole bunch of make-work projects to keep people working, one of which was the Autobahn.
Oh shit, he just walked back like, see, that's okay. So here's a point that I needed to clarify last time I streamed, so I'm gonna do it now. That's on a level of Holocaust denial. Do you see where you can make that connection? Because you're making light of the literal situation to say there were positives. Like all those make work camps were make work camps and not death. And this man was in your homes. Not all of y'all's, but some of y'all's homes.
They were against cruelty and vivisection of animals, but in the radical sense of devaluing human life, they banned smoking. They were totally against that. They were for abortion and euthanasia of the undesirables, as we all know. And they were for cradle-to-grave nationalized health care.
Well, it's a good point. You know how to stop abortion? Require that each one occur with a gun.
You put your kids on a school bus, you expect safety, but in Obama's America, the white kids now get beat up with the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on.
There is an attack on masculinity that's been going on in our culture since the advent of the modern era of feminism, the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, the way I've been conditioned by the Democrats and the left in this country, that sounds like a hate crime. That Trayvon Martin starts pummeling Zimmerman because the gal on the phone, Rachel Jeantel, said, hey, a guy could be a rapist. You better run. But Trayvon's no coward. He didn't run away from stuff, so he starts pummeling on Zimmerman. Folks, there's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word when and how, and who can't, when and how.
But we can't go after poor old Barack that way because he's a minority. Romney knows how to do this. He did it to Newt, and he did it to Santorum. He knows full well how he has to do this. But I know what they think they're up against. They got the first black president, independence. It's easy to go after Newt or Romney because they're conservatives and everybody hates conservatives anyway. But we can't go after poor old Barack that way because he's a minority. First president in history, to my knowledge anyway, who actually wants his nation to fail. Obama wants to create an illegal alien Bill of Rights. We're now governed by people who do not like the country. Who is Obama? Why is he doing this? Why? He wouldn't have been voted president if he weren't black. Let me put it to you this.
Oh my God, this man is a piece of shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I have not asked my dad if he listens to Rush Limbaugh. I think I've heard that name in my house before. Holy shit. That's deep. That's so much deep-seated racism that like you couldn't walk that back. Nah, you just couldn't walk that back. I was gonna make some pun, but you just gotta keep moving forward with that shit. Like you really in the trenches. Like goodbye. Like you do not climb up from that. Like if people listened to this and thought that's great opinions, and you wonder why the country's so fucked up.
All too often looks like a game between the Bloods and the Crips without any weapons. Day mocking the standard. Who dat? Who dat say they mocking the standard? Al Sharpton say they mocking the standard. How many people really think of Obama as black? He's not from the hood. He's not from the movement. When I hear Chinese or Japanese, it sounds like all the same word.
Run that whole shit back. Flag on the play, offsides, clipping, face mask. No, hell no.
Sharpton say they mocking the standard. How many people really think of Obama as black? He's not from the hood. He's not from the movement. When I hear,
why do you know enough black culture to mock it?
Chinese or Japanese, it sounds like all the same word. It is these wackos from
that if you have money, you're going to get health care. If you don't have money, it's more difficult.
If you have money, you're going to get a house on the beach. If you don't have money, you're going to live in a bungalow somewhere.
Right.
That's
right. But we're talking about health care.
What's the difference?
The difference is we're talking about health care,
no,
not a house and a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care.
The difference is we're talking about health care,
no,
not a house and a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care. I'm telling you earlier, I'm not a conformist. I hated school because it's what everybody else had to do.
Hey, Rush.
Mr. President, sir.
All is well. Do you see our man Ailes at all?
Oh yeah,
We're on the radio, are we?
For years, the radio talk show host had taken a tough stand on drug cases, advocating prison time for the crimes. But that's not what happened when he faced his own drug charge.
I am addicted to prescription pain medication. I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill. So the pain pills came along and they masked all these feelings of inadequacy that I had.
Rush is by far the most articulate, defining voice of conservatism in America today, the most articulate voice of Reagan conservatism in the country. Rush is a powerful voice. I would argue that Rush is the leader of the conservative movement in the country. I know him. I'm friends with him. He's a gracious, gracious man. Rush is the leader in radio.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add mine to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First, you immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, There'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots
What?
for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language. Foreigners will not have the right to vote or hold political office. If you're in our country, you cannot be a burden to taxpayers. You are not entitled to welfare or food stamps or other government goodies. You can come if you invest here, an amount equal to 40,000 times a daily minimum wage. If not, stay home. But if you want to buy land, it'll be restricted. No waterfront, for instance, and as a foreigner, you have to relinquish individual rights to the property. And another thing, you don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president or his policies. You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail.
What the fuck was that? People listen to that and believe. No way. Nah. No way. That's. See why I kind of just land on the left by choice? By pure, like. That's just where it is. That's just where it is. I can't do nothing else. I can't see that no other way. That's ugly. And if you listen to him and you believe in anything he says, I'll even do it the black way. That's insane. All right, it's poetry time. So let me set this up.